were leaving you, that they wanted to make you prove you could hit those?
Um, not so in the second half. I felt that way in the first half, and it hurt him. So
Luther, when you come out of a game like this, I'm curious, like, what you're most proud of. Is it your defense? Is it the fact you made all your free throws? The fact that you got your three-point shot going? Like, what of those things is most important to you taking away from this game?
I don't really pay too much of attention to that. I'm happy we won. I'm happy we all played hard. We all stayed together. They made a lot of runs. They kind of dug themselves back into the game, and we just stayed together, played as one, continue to work hard on defense.
I think most people, if they look at Maryland, they say you got to stop Cowan and you got to stop Smith. How did you feel like you impacted Cowan? That bucket he made there before he went out was the only shot he made all game.
A lot of it is on my help defense, to be honest. Like, yeah, I guard him one-on-one, but my hope is always there. I know I got help side so I can pressure up and kind of do my own thing.
Kaleb, can you sense a guy like that feeling bothered, Cowan, when Luther's on him one-on-one and then you guys are helping on him the way you did?
Yeah, it definitely frustrate an aggressive scorer like that. Having team defense on him instead of just one-on-one, and he can just play in space. Try to make him see bodies and stuff like that really helped.
Kaleb, same question on how much pride do you take in your defense? I mean, I think Smith had 8 and 7 and 4 turnovers. Do you think you get overlooked as a defender maybe a little bit?
I don't really know how people look at me as a defender, but growing up, even high school defense was teach well, and I know I feel like I just carried it into college, man.
What about his defense?
He had to guard Andre growing up, so he better be able to guard.
Hey, Luther, this is kind of to what you were already talking about, but it's a guy who can get to the free throw line as often as Anthony sometimes can. Is there a way that they're coaching you to kind of defend that when you know that if you put your hand out there a little bit, he's going to take advantage of it?
He liked to kind of, when you have your hand in, kind of jab and just draw the foul. So instead of having my hand out there, they say have my hand up. So you can't do that. So that was the only adjustment I made as far as me when I always put my hand out.
What about if you're chasing him off a curl screen and how guys can come off and try to just throw it up?
That one call, the verse is kind of he's good at it. So it was like a 50-50 call. So really it's just coming off and just staying in my cylinder because I was kind of on him, and then he had to poke his elbow out, and then he hit me in my face, and I was an automatic foul. So it's just being aware of what guys like to do and how they like to draw fouls.
Kaleb, what did you kind of do differently today against Jalen Smith to slow him down?
Really, I just had a lot of help. Like Lou said, we played team defense today at a high level. I feel like that helped both stop their aggressive scores that they had and even take them out of some of the stuff that they wanted to run for them.
Your team was like the 5 Iron Men in the second half. One sub that I could remember, especially with Kyle going out. What was the talk when you knew it had to be just you 5?
You want to say that?
Toughness.
Yeah.
What we've been doing, just preaching the whole time is being tough and starting it with our older guys and our leaders, guys that's been here and they've seen situations like this, and teams can go on runs, and you just got to be able to stand there and don't flinch.
You've had to listen for weeks about what's wrong with Ohio State, what's happened nationally, and then it looked like the world was coming to an end, and now all of a sudden you beat the number 7 team in the country. What does this mean today?
I don't know if we was listening to what the world was saying about us. It's always here or there with us. There's always people saying we're that good, we're that bad, and you got to X that stuff out and just go to work every day.
We were off feet at. We were off feet at.
So you guys have been pretty good in keeping up with the top-ranked teams. So what's your motivation toward that compared to other games that you guys play?
Compete every day in practice. Starts in practice. So just work hard in practice. Our coach push us. They harp on us hard. They coach us hard, and we make each other better. When we playing 5 or we scrimmage or guard and scout, we playing hard out there, like it's a real game, and that translates to the real game.
One of the things I was most impressed with was your rebounding. All of you guys, especially you, Caleb. What's your next direction to keep that going? Because tonight was very effective in that area.
Like Lou said, it starts in practice. Praise our scout team. They help us. They help us a lot as far as Ibrahima, Alonzo, big athletic guys with long arms. Having to block those guys out, and even Harrison, having to get them off the glass is tough. I just praise them, praise the practice, and our coaches telling them what to do.
For both you guys, what does it do for this team to beat the number 7 team in the country?
Next day.
Yeah, our biggest game is the next game. We play Nebraska away.
It doesn't, when you beat a team, Maryland's maybe the best team in this conference, right? When you prove, do you prove anything to yourself? I know you guys had good wins early in the year, but you haven't had a win like this in a couple months. Does it tell you anything about your team that you didn't know?
Not that we didn't know. I think it just shows the world how tough we are. Shows lets y'all know how tough we are. We know how tough we are. What we've been doing, how hard we've been working. It just shows y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys.